drop.
That's okay. The French,
The champagne.
It doesn't do anything.
But does it do anything?
Oh man.
But
we are live. Okay.
Hey, blasphemers.
Yeah, hang tight. Julio's our guest, and we are going to start the show in just a few moments. Hey, blasphemers. Welcome to Simple Blasphemy, where we have the best times with the worst topics.
We're three friends that discuss everything and nothing, from wacky headlines to games and trivia. All subjects bizarre and risque are on the table.
Our weekly guests range from friends, musicians, and artists to professionals in a variety of industries.
We go live on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Want to support the show? Join our Patreon. You can find it and more at www.simpleblasphemy.com.
So grab a drink and join in!
It's too late now. This is Simple Blasphemy.
All right. Welcome to the Simple Blasphemy Podcast, all you blasphemers out there. My name is Zach Ward, and I have here with me always Andy's.
G. Smith and the Saturday Night Live Band.
Wow. And also Mr. Zach Green, the cleaning machine.
Paul Harvey. Good day.
That's the rest of the story.
All of the info on the show could be found at simpleblasphemy.com, and if you click that like, share, subscribe button, you will receive 5 years of what, Andy?
I will carve a face of you in clay.
Wow.
I like that.
As mentioned,
I'm already working on Julio.
Okay. As mentioned, this week's special guest is none other than Julio. Typically would have been saying hi guys in the chat.
I know.
At this point.
There's nobody in the chat right now because he's here.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
So nobody's listening, actually.
Nobody cares.
So, hey, anybody in the chat, you got to step it up. We need some comments flowing and some sarcasm or whatnot. Today's show is going to be super fun. And the first thing I'll say, we're going to dive in a little bit about Julio, and we're also going to be talking about his upcoming show on a show called Relics radio show about treasure hunting. So we're going to dive into treasure hunting a little bit later. We're going to play the game Whose Boobs Are These? And also the game of Zoom.
That's the real treasure.
I've got my special boob t-shirt on today.
Hell yeah. So we're starting to change a few things here. What I'm trying to start every show with, or at least at some point, is to find out not only a little bit about you. Two questions. Number one is, what is the worst job you've ever had?
I think the worst job I've ever had was bagging groceries in Argentina, where I was originally born. This was back when I was about 15 years old. I just gone back to Argentina after having lived in the U.S. That was about it. Ever since then, every single job, from being in the military in Argentina to even to what I do today. And today I'm very, very fortunate. I've just so lucky to be surrounded by so many wonderful, nothing to complain about other than that one supermarket job. That's it.
Okay. Wow. That's awesome. And
You won.
You won the life lottery.
Seriously, you won the work lottery.
Then the last question is, what does the word equality mean to you?
God, it got so serious.
I think last week's guest, Jordan.
Yeah.
He summed it up. I mean, everything that was going on in my mind at the time was exactly what the way he put it into words. It was just I couldn't have put it as eloquently as he did. I think we have to just take off all the glasses and forget about identifying ourselves as, whether it be skin color, race, ethnicity, that's what equality should be. Sex, it doesn't matter. Just base everything merely on your abilities to be a good human being. That's it. So in my eyes, equality would be anything that anyone, just forget about looking at people for the problem is that a lot of people also see me as what I am, and I think that's taking over the society. See me for my skin color, I'm black, or see me for what I believe in, my religion. And you guys have delved into all that. You've delved into race, ethnicity, religion, and everything, and it's been very, very enlightening. It's been eye-opening. Even the flat Earth thing was really
God,
eye-opening.
I'm glad
experience.
somebody thinks so.
But I think equality to me means basically fuck everything. Look at the person as a human being, and that's it.
As we've said,
That's
don't
it.
be
Be a good human being.
That's it. Yeah, be a good human being.
And you
It's so
answered the
fucking
question
simple.
that I was going to ask is why do you listen to us? And you just summed it up right there.
No, that might be the most potent question, Green.
It is a very.
I'm not saying there's no substance.
Oh, why do you listen to us? And then what you just said there, like a couple seconds ago,
it's
summed it up.
eclectic. It's eclectic. It takes things from multiple directions, and I'm not trying to blow myself because I don't want to break any ribs. But at the same time, thank you for summing it up from a person that listens to us, a person that gives us their time every week.
I would say the only thing I would add to what you said to be my answer, which you basically said it, but to kind of rephrase it is, we as human beings don't need to put other humans in different boxes, is basically my take on it. If you see somebody, they don't have to go into a biased box and treat them
right
and have instructions on how to treat those people on that box. That's the only thing I would say.
Unfortunately,
but everybody has different instructions.
We are being conditioned constantly to actually put ourselves in boxes and to identify to the rest of society as a specific, whether it be race or religion. We're being forced into that from the moment you fill out a form and you're supposed to check off what race or it's just. I know it's a very simplistic explanation, but I've seen it all my life, and I've got a different perspective because I spent half of my life in Argentina and South America and half of my life in North America, including Canada, 15 years in Canada, which is one of the most wonderful multicultural countries you could ever live in.
Every American's dream.
Yeah.
Just a little cold.
So
it's a little cold, but you're going to deal with it in warmth.
So before we get into treasure hunting, and Argentina popped into my head, one of my favorite books to read is actually the book Alive, about the Argentinian soccer
football
team. So I've got a story for you. Can you expand it? In case people don't know, can you recap? There is a movie, of course.
1993, 1992.
The movie was, but let me. I'll tell you what. Let me put you in the big screen on this one so that we can
give me
get
the
into
big
it.
screen, Julio.
The movie / book Alive.
Yeah. So this was a rugby team from Uruguay, if I remember correctly. Now, don't quote me on the year. I can't remember the year, but they were on their way to a tournament and attempting to cross the Andes, as so many people have done before, and most likely due to pilot error, they crashed into a mountain close to an area in southern Mendoza, which is the province that I was born in, close to a town or city called Malargüe. And they were in a blizzard. They were phenomenally bad climatic conditions, and yet some survived, some died, some perished in the crash. And they found it under those conditions so necessary to actually indulge in what we call cannibalism. So they did everything that they felt was necessary to survive. So they took whoever was deceased, they took parts of their bodies and used to consume in order stay alive.
But they consumed raw and frozen.
Raw.
Well, you could sun dry it.
They sun dried it actually on the fuselage of the plane, if I remember correctly.
That's correct.
Back in 1980 something, 1985, I purchased an enduro motorcycle, and together with a friend, we decided to try and attempt to reach the site of the crash, and it was surprisingly easy to do. But this was during the summer, and we got to the crash site, and of course, it's there. It's the fuselage is there. People,
it's still there.
It
is.
Yes, it's still there. Yeah, the fuselage. As a matter of fact, I even discovered more wreckage in another location. There are airplanes that have gone down in the Andes as a result of again, navigation error. And what happens is, and I'll explain to you this quickly. The jet stream. You're flying against the wind. If you're doing math the old-fashioned way, navigating the old-fashioned way with math, you're thinking, okay, I've consumed this much fuel, I've traveled this far, I should be over the Andes. Well, guess what? The jet stream means that you were basically hovering over the Andes, and by the time you think, oh, I should be, starting to descend,
here
they start descend, and you've got a mountain range in front of you. So that's what was happening early on with aerial navigation.
So it's like seeing a bird flying against the wind, and it's not moving the way you think that.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly. So there's a lot of wrecks, airplanes, and I've got a few anecdotes of those along. But we're gonna talk about that some other time.
I'm sorry to keep asking questions and interjecting, but yeah, please lead it, dude.
All right, so why don't we just dive into the subject of treasure now? Now that we've been at least Facebook friends, we all get to see each other's pictures. And Julio, is this a? Well, let's start here. How did you start the treasure hunting, and by what means were you finding treasure at the beginning?
My passion for history began with my grandfather. He was a meteorologist and an archaeologist in Argentina. He took me out when I was 5 years old, and we'd go looking for arrowheads. Back then, the technology was not available. But then, when my family moved to the United States, my father, while we lived in New Jersey, purchased the metal detector. At the time, he thought I was, irresponsible and just crazy, and no, you can't touch that. But I was just enthralled with the idea of looking for treasure with that device that he was, by my standards, was just not using as much as he should have.
Awesome.
And then fast forward to 2005, and I'm living in New Hampshire now, after having lived 15 years in Canada and whatnot. And I come across a gentleman. We're working carpentry. I just got into carpentry with him, and he's got a metal detector. He's telling me about the history of the location where I live in and all these cool things that he's finding. I'm thinking, man, this is the chance that I've been waiting for all these years. I'm going to get myself a metal detector, and I'm going to go out looking for artifacts. I've been waiting my entire life to do this. And that's what I started doing. So in 2005, I started doing this with a metal detector, basic $300 one. Now I own three, which are, combined are like $5,000. But since 2005, and my interest in history is basically what drove me to do that. And for me, the prospect of finding, say, for example, like you might see these guys on the beach and whatnot, the prospect of finding jewelry, gold, that doesn't excite me one bit. Not one bit. So I'm after the old stuff. I'm after the historically significant things.
Let's throw a picture up. Can you explain some of these artifacts?
Yeah. This isn't from one single outing at a cellar hole. I found what you can see a small watch, basically a clock winder key right in the center. That buckle in the upper left-hand corner would have been a very thin, but it would have been like a belt buckle and coat. The buttons are all varied. We call them flat plain buttons, and these are buttons that you regularly find anywhere on a coat at the time, whether it be 1700s, well into the 1800s. But far off on the right, that darker disc, that is a King George II coin, and so these were minted in England. These type of copper coins were the currency in the colonies in the 1700s. That one I would date between 1740 and 1770. To be precise,
that's super interesting. Seriously, awesome stuff.
What's
the taco on the bottom?
Yeah, the taco on the bottom is exactly what I would call it, a bronze taco, because it's folded over, and it's an item that could have very well have come off a wagon or some other type of farming implement. And it was there. It was probably about 10 inches down in a field that I've visited time and time and time again. Yeah.
God, that's
oops, sorry about
tits.
that.
Oh,
everybody gets a little treasure during Simple Blasphemies podcast.
yeah.
A little treasure.
So, what was some of the finds that were the first ones that you got that obviously fueled the fire?
What's your big one?
The big one, I've got it right here. I was ready for you. I was ready for that question. But
I'm sorry to preemptively ejaculate.
We've all been there, Andy.
Well, you should have seen my girlfriend's face when I said that finding Spanish silver was almost as good as, if not better than, sex. That was a horrible thing to say. It came just the wrong way.
But next time you take her pants off, do you say, "Oh my Lord, I found Socrates"?
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem.
Ooh, there you go. Thank God, Zach Green. Thank God. I needed to hear your voice and to say that a rose in Spanish Harlem.
Yeah. But Zach, I spent the first year with my basic metal detector not finding squat, but other than just random shit like flashing from old houses and this and that. And then the second year, it just exploded. I don't know what happened. And I got into this groove where I actually metal detecting, I have to say, I tell you, it's a very, very deep rabbit hole. Once you go in, there are communities, there are celebrities, there are people who have countless YouTube channels.
Celebrities?
Well, yeah, because these guys show up at events and they're like revered.
Seth Rogen is a big treasure hunter?
No, he's saying like Gary from.
Okay. So you have people that are like
Bill Wyman. Bill Wyman is an avid detectorist, and he has his own signature metal detector.
There you go.
Case closed. There you go.
Do you have a signature? Anything in that?
No, I don't. I've got just the plain old PRS hanging on the guitar, which on the wall, which I love. SE22.
I know a guy that can actually put gilding on that to make it a signature thing. He's got his head on backwards.
That's true. So we're talking. Oh, wait a second. We're talking. First treasure that really wowed you, and your biggest one.
The first one that really that wowed me was finding my first old copper coin, and to actually be the first person to touch a coin that was dropped, and for a fact because of its condition that it was dropped in 1750.
That's awesome.
That's equivalent for me to having a time machine. I am the first person to hold this coin. The person who lost it, I immediately put myself at that time in that place and try to feel what that person felt. Oh, I lost some money here.
Oh, dearie fuck! I've lost a week's wage.
Exactly. And it was not petty money. We're talking half pennies and whatnot. Back then, this bought you some stuff. People were paying. So this coin that I'm going to show you is one of my all-time favorites. This was something that I never expected to find in a field. And this is a piece of 8. This is an 8 real. Wow. It's dated 1775. That is the other side.
Gorgeous.
And it's in such great condition. But this was roughly a month's wait. Whoever lost this was
holy shit.
Must have been heartbroken. But I've got a theory as far as how you can lose something like this and not find it. If you guys have ever been in snow and dropped something in the snow, you know what I'm talking about.
It's impossible. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, especially a coin. It's gone.
It's gone. It's got weight. It could fall slatwise and just dive. Yep.
Exactly.
I'm gonna guess here a little bit, but why did countries start minting coins with dates on them? Is that to signify that there's like infused copper and silver, or what was the?
No, that's the when you put the extra stuff on there, right?
I couldn't answer with exactitude that question. I can tell you that, for example, one of my white whales, so to speak, is a coin that bears the date 1652, and yet it was not minted in 1652. It's dated much. It was minted much later. As far as the date, I think it all has to do with national pride and whatnot, because you've got the bust of the king that was reigning at the time in Spain. Okay.
Right.
And it was, well,
nice nose on him.
And as far as I can tell, I don't know when they started putting dates on coins. I know a little bit more about when we started putting "In God We Trust" on coins, which was April 22nd, 1864 to be exact.
Otherwise known as April 22nd, Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Well, it seems as though that the North was wanting to make amends with the South, the deeply religious South, and make amends and say we're on the same page as you are. You know what I mean? So,
which wasn't exactly the case, now was it?
No.
Still not today.
No.
No.
But aside from that, I suppose. So, treasure hunting. Do you have a special place, or do you go to different places, or do you have travel? Do you have a group of people that you drink coffee?
Itinerary.
And if you have to go to the bathroom, do you just go, or do you try to actually find a restroom?
I just go.
Do you put in a treasure chest?
I just go.
What shape do you buy a treasure chest at Hobby Lobby and poop in it? Sorry, we're talking about poop every episode.
Partner,
damn it!
Which seems to be the custom in this hobby. You team up with somebody that is like-minded, who has the same passion, is driven as you are, has the same knowledge as you are. You may like a person very much, say they're a beginner, and you take them under your wing, which is what happened to me with one individual. And then later on, I found Alan Glass, who's from the UK, and he and I are part of a 3-person team called the Silver Hunters. Alan and I go out very frequently. As far as the places we go to, going back to that question, it varies wildly. It's a matter of convenience that all hinges on weather and grass, because there are countless fields in New Hampshire that have been for 3 centuries been used as hay fields. So every summer they're mowed. So you're looking at 300 years of activity. But when you get to that field, say in July or August, and the grass is 12 inches tall and it's not been cut yet, it's pointless. You shouldn't go in there. First off,
it's all knotted up and you're not going to get anywhere.
Well, not only that, but I have to explain. The surge coil, which is on the business end of the metal detector, it goes down depth-wise as it is wide. So if you've got an 11-inch coil, which seems to be the standard nowadays, it goes down 11 inches. You have to get that coil really down to the ground in order to get to the items that are, say, 10 inches down. So with tall grass, you're just fighting it. You're basically, it's like you have a lot of resistance, and there's no point in that. So you wait until the farmer is ready to cut that field down, and then you go in. And that can happen 2 or 3 times during the summer. Then there's cellar holes. So these are the old homesteads that are way out in the boonies and the woods that were homes back in the late 1700s. And you go there, and right now there's nothing but a hole lined with stones, which some of them are actually so fantastically crafted that you could actually build a home right now on them. Wow. And all that area, around that area, and the peripheral area, which now is woods, used to be field, you can find artifacts all around those areas. So those 2 main areas for me in the region where I live, cellar holes and fields. That's it.
So as it relates to
put blades on the end of the tail. I like that.
That could be your model. It could be like a weed whacking.
I know.
You may be working on your own model right now.
Julio, can you describe to some people, like especially getting into maybe a more professional metal detector? Does it for the different types of metals? Does it give off a different sound? Or
Absolutely.
Okay.
The more advanced models that are out now, even the basic ones now, the technology has come so far. So every different metal and shape responds to a different frequency. So the metal detector that I have operates with 5 different frequencies. So you've got 4, 10, 15, 20, and 40 kilohertz. Okay. So it is sending down all 5 frequencies simultaneously into the ground. I don't know how many times a second, but these frequencies are pounding the ground as deep as the coil is wide. And when it hits something, say a coin, okay, it immediately reacts. Now, say, for example, large silver reacts very well to 40 kilohertz. So you're going to get a banging signal right there. The processor analyzes and tells you via a VDI, visual identification, LCD display, tells you whether it's silver, copper, bronze, brass, and even the size. Okay. So yes, technology has come a long way. The more you spend, the better machine you'll get. So there are machines that start at $300 and they go right up to the $5-7 grand. But the $5-7 grand range is mostly specifically for gold, which you'll probably be paying. If you live in Australia, you're probably paying for that machine in a week.
Yeah, my friend does this, and he came over because my wife lost her wedding ring, which she thought was out in the grass somewhere. But he has one of those really, really kick-ass models, and like what he was listening to when he was looking on the screen made no sense to me. But it's like he's like, oh yeah, that's a penny, that's a nickel, that's a quarter.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
He was like, what?
Exactly. So basically, let me sum it up this way: each brand machine. It doesn't matter what machine you use or what price range you get. They all do the same thing basically, but they each speak a different language, and it's up to you. And obviously, Zach, your friend knows the language that the machine is talking to him in. So they've got beeps, different tones. They'll show you different numbers, and that's a way you can identify your target. You can, once you get acquainted very well with your machine, then you can make more than an educated guess as far as, oh, should I dig that or not? Because otherwise, whomever picks up a Walmart metal detector this weekend and goes out, they're going to be digging everything because everything is going to be, they're not going to know exactly, well, it's showing me that it's something, so I got to dig out. But
so it's like an operating system to find
exactly.
certain...
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. And as a matter of fact, they even have 2 of my machines have upgradable firmware. Software, so you can plug it into the computer and download the latest programs, and it'll automatically upgrade your machine to the point where it fine tunes what was already happening. So,
well, it's just like a patch for a video game or a patch for an operating system.
In a way, yes.
You're doing things to put a finer point on it. Well, my question is, and can I say something? I'm a big Bariloche fan. I think that the idea that the Nazis disappeared into South America, and so we watched a special, my wife and I, where they took this metal detector. It looked like a carpet cleaner, and they ran it over the entirety of this lawn in front of what was apparently supposed to be Adolf Hitler's final resting place.
Fallout shelter?
It wasn't even a fallout shelter. It looked just like the place he had in wherever, in Germany or Austria. What are the chances of you seeing some kind of machinery? Is that like the equivalent of somebody bringing a howitzer out to a BB gun fight?
No, and it depends, because if you're dealing with a site that, say, for example, has seen a lot of history in terms of ground movement, say, for example, a field that has been plowed or has had loam added to it, because that's not an uncommon practice. You have farmers that, in order to renew the the nutrients in the ground just bring in a new coat of dirt. So depending on how deep, you're going to need a bigger machine. You're going to need a better machine that can go deeper. In sites such as the one that you're describing, I think it could very well be the case that you don't need to bring such a big machine. You most likely what you probably saw, and I'm going to take a wild ass guess on this, is probably ground penetrating radar, not just metal detecting. That
makes sense. Both. That makes sense.
The ground penetrating. So if you're looking for buried or the remains of structures that are now underground for whatever reason, whether they be environmental or man-made conditions where someone has deliberately bulldozed over a site, that could be the reason why you saw the machine that you did.
Okay.
Or Jimmy Hoffa.
I think
the loamier the better.
In the other technologies, doesn't it detect it doesn't detect non-phosphorus, or it doesn't detect gold or something like that?
Non-ferrous.
Ferrous, I'm sorry.
Every as I said before, every frequency seems to react different to each metal, to each so the lower frequencies react better to gold, for example, and high frequencies react better to silver. These machines seem to also, the way they program them, they seem to react to symmetry and specifically circular items. So say, for example, I've got my machine and it gives me a ringing signal of 25, which is what this would ring as, this large silver coin. Then I dig it up and it happens to be an iron ring. Well, that tells you that the machine is programmed to specifically seek out that symmetry, that shape, regardless of its composition. Also, you have to consider the fact that iron oxidizes so easily. I was bringing ground penetrating.
Iron. Okay, you got that. Good.
Yeah, iron degrades very quickly, and what it does, it oxidizes, and when it does, it permeates the surrounding ground with this.
Looks like a moon rock.
Exactly. Well, yeah. But it permeates the surrounding ground with this oxidization. We call it a metal detecting, the halo effect. So even a tiny nail, a square nail that was dropped 250 years ago, now has oxidized, has become a blob of metal, and has permeated the surrounding soil. To the metal detector, it looks like this big item, and it gives a great signal.
So
it's not. Yeah.
So it's like
you dig it up and you're like, oh, this is bullshit.
It's kind of sort of like the kids that grew up with McDonald's, they end up
explain your Happy Meal.
Anyway,
or cereal boxes.
Qualify the Happy Meal, Zach Ward.
Well, I'm just saying, if you had a Happy Meal every week since your childhood.
So when I was a kid, when I was very, very young, my parents had this house, and they still have the house. And at one point, my late sister, had broken through a wall in a closet because she was upset, and she hit it with a hanger or something and found a safe.
Ooh.
And then shortly thereafter, we found another safe.
In the house your parents are in right now?
Yes, in the house my parents are in right now.
He's told the story before.
I have told the story before, but
yeah,
with Julio, it actually has. There's an actual reason to tell the story because it's treasure hunting.
Well, you told us also 3 years ago, so refresh everybody.
So, is everybody
were the safes ever opened?
Yes, with blowtorches and hammers and sledgehammers and drills and everything that we could. Seriously, that was part of my.
It was televised too, I think.
Didn't you dip it in Coca-Cola and Mentos? And
I peed on it. Nothing happened, but I kept peeing on it. We didn't find anything. We found a shell from a 45, and that was it. But our house had been owned by there's a gangster group around our area called the Purple
Gang.
The Purple Gang. Yeah.
Is it the Purple Gang?
It was the Purple Gang. Totally,
okay.
100%. And the guy that owned my parents' house was named Chalky Red Leonard. And Chalky Red Leonard was called Chalky Red Leonard because he was part of the Purple Gang, but he was a red-haired, super white dude who owned this house over the line, and so it was over the line in Michigan from Ohio, where you could get away with a whole bunch of stuff. All the state lines really meant something back then, and my folks' entire house was a casino.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
And they would hide the money in all of these things, and apparently, Chalky Red, knowing that his time was limited, or his wife, who had sold my parents the house, grabbed everything. But it was a treasure hunt for almost 5 years.
He met the eraser at some point, I take it.
So there was
talking about the Arnold Schwarzenegger eraser.
No. Keep telling the story. I've got to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
And there was
go do it, because I'm going to do it soon.
There was either spaces or like rooms on the other side of like drywall in your house or plaster.
Green, by the way, your microphone isn't on. It's your camera mic. Just letting you know.
Who, me or Zach?
Zach.
Oh,
his mic
fix that.
How do I don't even know. Fuck.
So we found
Andy, can you hear it?
I can. It sounds like his room mic, but I can still hear him.
How do I do it? I don't know.
Well, if you click the
I never touched anything.
Cam microphone at the bottom.
Anything?
Okay.
And you have to select your
audio.
Yeah, USB mic.
Oh, yeah, it's on default.
Yep.
Wait, I'm expecting extraordinary. Oh, look at him. He's back. Did you pee on the way?
Hello?
Woo. Okay.
Yes, Green.
Am I up?
You are.
Yes. So, Andy, what else do you have for us in the treasure hunting thing? I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yep.
So we found a secret room in the basement, and it was behind a cupboard, and there was probably about a 8x10 room that had a little table on it with a ship and a bottle and a couple of chairs, and I don't know what it almost seemed like.
Any finger bones?
Finger what's?
Bones, cutting fingers off.
No. I don't think.
I found a fucking finger bone in an old jukebox that was in a speakeasy.
I bet you did. You're the bone detector.
Oh,
well,
wow.
that's all I got.
Wow.
There were rumors that there was a tunnel leading back to somebody in the neighborhood, but that's it. Amen. I'd never found a finger bone.
All right, so
we found a pelvis.
Oh, wow.
It was a horse pelvis.
Julio, so last question on this. If you could choose somewhere to metal detect for your treasure, what is that destination? Where would you where's your Graceland of metal detecting?
I live in New Hampshire, and I've done most of my metal detecting in New Hampshire. If I could go to Massachusetts and Connecticut and just go wild wherever I wish there, closer to the coast, closer to where these areas were very populated back in even the mid to late 1600s, that's where I think my white whale lies. And my white whale is either a pine tree shilling or any tree shilling. You can look it up later, but there's three denominations. So there's oak tree, willow tree, and pine tree shilling. These are coins that, to me, are fascinating because they very much reflect the very first financial, the colonies, the birth of financial America, so to speak.
Right.
And there's one which I think I consider almost near impossible, which is a New England shilling.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so
I think I would Connecticut and Massachusetts are fantastic places, closer to the coast. Yeah.
Those coins that you're talking about represent a new identity, is what it was. A secession and leaving our folks in England. No offense.
Exactly. That's what I was attempting to surmise, and I think you picked up on it perfectly. The other place would be off.
Greg says, how much are those typically worth?
Depending on the condition, any from oak tree to willow tree to pine tree shilling, those can range in the $2,500 range right up to $10,000 to $12,000 range. New England shilling, if you were lucky enough to find something like that, you would probably be looking at $250,000.
Oh, so
regardless of the
that's a
condition,
jump.
because that's how rare they are.
So let's just recap too for anybody that jumped in here. Julio's going to be joined by his partner Alan, the Silver Hunters group. They're going to be on a podcast called Relic Radio Show, also on Spreaker, just like we are. So tune in if you got that. There actually is a link for the podcast in the bio. So if you go into the bio of Facebook and or YouTube, you can click the link. It takes you straight to the radio show. Aside from that, let's dive into a game.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, no problem. Let's dive into our game Zoom. How about it? Before we do that, I in a very late fashion, put a Facebook message, the best movie of all time, because the Zoom game today is actually pictures from cinema. So, but before that, here we go. We have Excalibur, Dazed and Confused. Julio says Ruben and Ed. I don't even know what that is. The Shawshank Redemption by Andy Clark. Jaws.
That's a good one.
By Gina. And Dean up in Michigan, Blazing Saddles. Green,
That's
do you have a
really
favorite?
Good one, yeah.
Do you have a favorite movie, Green? You're not a movie guy, are you?
A favorite movie?
Like, How to Make Toilet,
is it 1973 film called The Holy Mountain?
Really?
Okay.
You're not kidding.
I think it's called The Holy Mountain. I always mix it up with Magic Mountain, but it's not. I think it's Holy Mountain. It's just 1973 it came out with. It was really artistic and really out there.
I think I have a vague recollection of that movie. Now, what's your favorite genre, Zach Green? As far as movies?
Well, to reel it back in out of the artistic realm, I like we just got the movie in the mail today because my wife never seen it, but like Better Off Dead, like with John Cusack, or Fast Times at Ridgemont High, or Say Anything, or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, just types of like 80s type of just hanging out and being young type of movies. Bullshit movies.
They're fun movies.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound cliche from everything that we talked about, but I have to say at least one of my favorite movies of all time is The Goonies. And seeing The Goonies as a kid,
it's a good one too.
Good movie.
And the treasure thing and going with your friends and finding treasure, just like us three have found in Julio here in more than one ways. It's just an epic adventure. So
I'm gonna smoke pot.
It also works the other way around, because having found you guys ever since I saw that first podcast with Reeves on, I thought, oh God, these guys are so much fun. They're so cool. If they've got Reeves Gabrels on the show, come on, they gotta be cool.
So let's that still remains to be seen. But we've got
with Reeve twice. Still remains to be seen.
Yeah, we're gonna play the game that's still sweeping the internet, I guess, called Zoom. All right. So just for those who have not technically have seen this game, it's pretty obvious, but what we're going to do is I'm going to show a picture that has been zoomed in extremely, very, very zoomed in. And then you can guess what the picture is. Now, today's theme, which I usually don't give out themes, this is a theme Zoom, and it is from cinema. It is from a film. Those are fancy words to say movie. It's a hipster way of saying movie. I enjoy cinema.
Porn.
This has nothing to do. Well, I can't say that. So here's number one. Picture number one. Here we go.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh.
What are we looking at here?
Man, that's hard.
Anybody?
Oh man.
Zach, what do you see here? What does this look like to you?
Like when you're fucking eating like a chicken ring, and there's some fucking guts and blood vessels and
chicken ring?
gizzards and whatnot.
It's like a lobster claw hitting the backside of a marshmallow man.
There's like a maroon thing on the top part that looks like it should be something covered up by skin.
Greg or anybody in the chat?
Shit.
Anybody?
It's like a lobster claw. Chicken ring. What's chicken ring?
What
Chicken
movie?
Ring.
Is there a movie
ring,
that you?
same thing, you know?
Is there a movie you would guess that picture came from? Then Green, is there? And don't forget to like and subscribe and Wrath of Khan. Okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wrath of Khan.
Massacre.
Yeah. Anybody? Andy, do you?
I didn't look at it. You ask everybody else except me.
I have no fucking idea.
The Exorcist. I'm gonna wing it.
I'm going to say that is Ray
Could be
Stance's
anything.
left earlobe from Ghostbusters 1984.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, here we go. The answer is
Oh yeah, it's
Showgirls.
Elizabeth fucking Berkeley.
Damn.
Showgirls.
Whatever happened to her? Oh yeah, Showgirls.
Man.
It's not a fan
Tiffany
of
Amber
hers.
Thiessen got her own cooking show. Elizabeth Berkley was.
Yeah. Saved by the Pole. Was it? Maybe a working title. All right. So here we go. And again, once again, folks, this is cinema. All right. So here's slide number 2.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh man.
It's Andy. Would you mind just trying to describe this for those who listen to audio?
There's a purple tendril
It's
walking across.
There's an arm. That's an
bottom
arm.
half. That's a tendril. A tendrilic arm across.
That's a
What I would
sleeveless
assume
arm.
would be that's if Elsa from Frozen.
Oh, okay.
Frozen.
Yeah, if Elsa
I
from
was gonna say the
Frozen
same thing.
was getting ready to fist something.
Yeah, because it
that.
Zach Green.
I-
Brace yourselves. Brace
me,
yourselves,
Andrew.
people. Brace yourselves. Here we go.
I think it's from the movie Billy Madison
Oh dear.
when Adam, I don't know what his character's name. I forgot. I'm not good with names. Adam's drunk friend was in the fucking pool on a raft drinking
Girls in Tony.
daiquiris.
All right. And Andy, when you answered
at
what's the
Bernie.
best movie of all time, what did you answer?
That's the Shawshank. Oh no! Oh yeah, it is. Oh, Elsa is not finger banging somebody. And by the way, go back to me. Look at me.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. You
No,
want to get
bring it back. Look at this. So where is this scene from Shawshank Redemption?
Oh, when he was
Oh, wait, wrong way. Going this way.
when he was
I know it's
when
from
he-
the movie. I remember the scene, but
he's
digging up the
Dewat Nehu.
That's where he put the box with the
That's
extra
where
cash
he
and
put the
instruction.
box with the extra cash. So yes, but you know what? At the same time, I'm still dumb. That was a good one.
That was a good one. I didn't try to deliberately
that's a very good one.
trick
It's still a
you,
good one.
Andy.
No, it's still great.
All right, are you guys ready to move on to number?
No.
There's only 4 of these.
Oh, Jesus.
fucking
And our
So,
mind was in the gutter the whole
Where are the
time.
boobs?
All right, here we go. Number 3, slide number 1. Whew.
Oh
Ooh.
my.
That's gonna be tough.
What Star Wars movie is that from?
All right, it is cinema. Zach Green, would you do the honors in trying to your best, to the best of your ability, to describe what you're seeing under this microscope here?
Oh shit.
the
Christ. It's the Christ.
The penitent
French
man will
champagne.
pass.
there's I don't know. That could be where a tan carpet meets the wooden floor, and then there's like a stuffed
A blade.
what is it? A
looks-
stuffed a shark, like stuffed animal there. Right?
Oh, I thought you said shart. 'Cause
Shark.
that'd be an interesting picture. Look at this
Turtle.
splatter mark.
Shark.
Does
Julio-
anybody shart in fucking gray tones? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ!
Depends-
I'm struggling. I
Okay.
know it's
Julio?
metal. I know it's metal. I just can't.
Okay.
Does anybody
No,
shart in gray
no.
tones?
Anybody want to guess what movie? Andy, do you want to guess what movie this is?
Revenge of the Sith.
Okay. Any good guesses? No?
Revenge of the Sith?
All right. Here comes the big reveal. This is slide number 3.
Oh, dear.
Yep,
Where's
and
that at?
that was the tip of the black hat into the tip of the other gentleman's cowboy hat.
So wait a minute. Is that the whole movie? That's the whole movie right there, is putting the tip of the hat into the other tip of the hat.
Yeah, docking
them.
hats. This is
Tipping.
from the
It's called
movie
tipping.
Brokeback Mountain.
I mean, there's absolutely. I still haven't seen it. I miss Heath Ledger only based on.
You've
his Joker
taken this whole Zoom
performance.
thing to a new level, Zach. I
Mhm.
mean, you are really, really going in there. It's like,
Maybe I should zoom out just a little bit.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, here's the fourth and final. Just give it a little bit. Here's the fourth and final slide, which I didn't go. I don't think I. Well,
You did.
let's take a look. All right,
Wait a
oh,
minute.
hairline.
Julio.
Oh shit.
Can you describe what you
That's the
think you're
carrot
seeing?
top.
Oh yeah, good.
Honk honk.
In the
Oh,
carrot top in the gym.
Hey, that looks like Betty Midler's head.
Okay.
It looks like Mrs. Garrett's head
Wait a minute.
to me.
Wait a minute. It's Betty Midler, not Bette Midler.
Is
Help
it
me.
Betty or Bet?
I don't
I
know.
think it's
Are you
Betty.
talking
I
like
literally
Hocus
don't know.
Pocus or something?
Yes, but I literally don't
Yeah,
know if it's
I'm
Bette
going.
Midler.
I'm going to say Hocus Pocus. There you go. Okay.
Zach
But-
Green.
Fuckus
I don't know.
Puckus.
The first thing that came to my mind is Mrs. Garrett's head from The Facts of Life, but I don't know who the
Oh.
actress is, and I don't know if she's been in any movies. So
Be prepared to take the good and take the bad.
Okay, Andy.
Dude, I can't give anything better than these dudes have done. It looks like something that's going to be really gross.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
No.
here's the big
Betty
reveal.
Midler's not gross.
This is
but whatever this is going to be gross.
it's not gross, but this is a movie I want to revisit because I've only seen it once and it was a very long time ago. But here we go. It's from a movie called Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh,
Good for you.
Shut.
Eyes wide
That was
shut.
the last Kubrick film. Good.
Yeah.
That's just Nicole Kidman's. Nicole Kidman's red
That's
haired.
yeah.
That was a
Louis.
crazy movie, by the way. Not suitable for people that are not horny or have
and
children.
by the way, that's how Mrs. Garrett used to look like when she was younger.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, for real.
All right. So, let's see what we got here. Oh, Hocus Pocus. That's funny.
Fuck.
Fuckus Puckus.
Some
Let's
witch.
see.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Yeah.
All right,
Movie
so-
So you wanted that.
How
You
can-
wanted that. It would now, if you were to walk into a room and you had paid a certain amount of money to have a night, and then I'm going to call her Bette Midler, but it could be Betty Midler. You were expecting Nicole Kidman, and you got
Mhm.
Betty Midler. Would you still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm not gonna-
Great for you.
I'm not
Wait,
gonna
to-
su-
well, this is- don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to orgasm shame somebody.
Or ageist.
Jesus Christ.
No, I think she was good looking. You know.
Thank
back in
you,
her-
Zach.
Yeah. All right. So,
I mean, I'm sorry, I haven't seen her lately, but I mean, back when she was like in a million things all the time, I thought she looked halfway decent.
all right.
Instead
And
of
So,
plus, I
million
like
things
I,
in her
I like
all the time.
older women.
hey,
Up tits.
last game of the day. Whose boobs are these? It's our newest game. And once again,
Ass cheeks.
here we go. Whose boobs are these?
Ooh.
Now,
Oh.
to let you guys know, even though you might not be able to make this out, the rules are this is a genderless game. It could be a man, it could be a woman, it could be a they, it could be a them, it can be anything. It's just a human being's titty or titties.
It's your tits, man.
So here we go.
Oh.
And again, I hate to say this also falls into the category of cinema on this take. This
I'm gonna go Jack Black,
Ah,
Nacho Libre.
Of course.
okay, Jack Black.
No.
All right.
Nacho
No,
Libre.
no. Shit, Nacho Grande. Shit, that's a good one, Andrew. Way to go.
Nacho Grande.
That's a number
Damn.
4.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Julio-
He's right. You know why?
All right.
He's
Well,
right. I
Julio,
just
is
saw
that
the little hint, the little bit of red.
what we're going for? Is Julio, is that your final guess?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, Andrew's right. Nacho Libre.
See,
Okay.
I'm not just an idiot the whole
That's
time.
Jack Black. Yeah, he's right. Andrew's
Well,
right.
You're gonna be not so right soon, but
Oh,
Green.
no.
What is there a
Sorry, Julio.
movie that
I don't know. Maybe that's Jerry Reed's
Oh, I'd pay to see
that's
Jerry Reed's
from
tits.
the movie he did with
Dom
Burt
DeLuise.
Reynolds. They had a centered around alligators.
With the
Oh.
elephant.
I forgot the name of the fucking movie.
All right, I can
But
guarantee.
it's the
So
reason.
was
It's
Smokey
it's
the Bandit too.
No, it had something to do with the alligators, and I think that's what inspired him to write
Was it
that
just called
song,
Gator?
Amos Moses. Yeah, I think it was Gator.
Could've just
Okay,
been Gator.
are you guys ready for the reveal?
Yep.
Here we go. Whose boobs are these? This week's is Will
It's
Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. Dude,
Oh,
you're not
my
gonna believe
God.
me. You're not
From
gonna
Old
believe
School.
me. I wanted to say it's Will Ferrell.
Oh, Andy.
Now this one I tried to
Oh,
line it.
waste
I
my
tried
time.
not to. On the boob one, I'm not zooming in, as you can see. Not neat.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
How can
All right.
anybody get these,
Andy,
man?
you
This is
said-
not
you
how
said-
my mind
And
works.
you said Jack Black, right?
I did. That's close-ish.
I would have.
I thought it was Nacho Libre. But then originally I thought it was Will Ferrell.
Exactly.
Like,
It was-
but I thought it was so
always
dumb. I
go
was
with
like,
your
there's no way it
first
could be Will
gut
Ferrell.
reaction.
The Jack Black guess was really good, Andy, especially you guys with the red and the Nacho Libre. I completely get that.
We need to get.
I think Jack Black's
Way
hair
to
is
go,
darker.
Zachord. Yeah, threw us off.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, it looks a fun fucking game.
Nobody can ever fucking win it.
In the future, just to let you know, we have games such as Would You Rather? We have games such as What's the Price, Bitch?
Love him. Goodbye.
There's
Hi,
that guy
Christopher. What's
again.
up, buddy?
We have
What's
we have
up
a
with your
game
teeth?
called Moist Questions.
Boys.
What's up with your teeth?
Okay, just
Sigourney
to let
Weaver.
you know.
Why are your teeth so fucked up, Sigourney Weaver?
They're moist.
Wait, go back
Oh,
Yeah,
you want-
see 'em.
okay.
Look at her teeth.
to it. Yeah.
Well,
It's like they all picked a north-south direction and said, "Let's go."
that was rather rude.
I think that's probably how normal human teeth
I
grow.
love
If
Sigourney
they're not
Weaver.
worked on.
Andy.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Back.
her teeth have no bearing on her acting ability.
Huh. Well, folks, I hate to say it, but that's an hour's worth
Especially
of
Aliens.
I'm just,
simple
that was
blasphemy
the
time.
best horror movie ever.
Well, once again, we would like to mention that Julio will be on the Relics radio show this Thursday, which of course you can also catch shortly after, I'm assuming.
That's day after tomorrow, yo.
There is a link in the bio where you can go straight to that podcast, and you can, I'm assuming, also
You don't
subscribe.
even have to talk to us. You don't even have to think about us. You can just go directly.
Listen, I've been dreaming about talking with you guys for the longest time. I think you guys are the coolest.
Oh man,
I've got
Those guys are
very,
the coolest.
I'm at a loss for words. Zach
Too
knows.
kind.
Zach Ward and I
kind.
interact after every show. We chit chat a little bit. I absolutely love what you guys are doing. Love what you guys do. How it's not more popular, who knows? Who cares? India cares, apparently. You forgot to mention India tonight, by the way.
They don't care anymore.
Yeah. It is
yeah.
such. Yeah, India is such a. It's like the same thing all the time that it's like, okay, it's like a common denominator. It's like, all right, let's move
Hey,
on.
India, how you doing, buddy?
In fact, I don't know. I haven't even looked at the statistics in a while because our main goal and focus really has more so been YouTube, to be honest with you, that the audio version is almost like a stepping stone for people, because before we were getting really tripped up in like having to describe the pictures and try to be audio only friendly. And not that we don't appreciate everybody, because we are, let's see, the statistics are insane. Like we've had since we started.
Well, I just kind of based it on whatever we were doing tonight.
So since we started the show,
cool. Bake it and send it to me.
Yeah, really.
Hey, Rachel's got a kiln.
But you can
Rachel's got a kiln.
In the
Rachel's
house.
got a kiln.
Will it bake this?
There you go.
Since we started the show, we've had 23,150 downloads on the audio.
How many?
23,150.
Are you kidding me?
That's more people than like
That's
Reverend
amazing.
Guitars.
I don't understand why.
And we're hoping people move. Yeah. In the last 30 days, we've had 1,188 downloads in the last 30 days. Yeah, it's insanity.
I'm going to interrupt.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
I'm sorry. Right now and tell you guys, when you've got a spare few hours, look up the series Detectorists online. It's on Amazon Prime. You can find them. Detectorists. This is a series from the UK. It's Mackenzie Crook and Toby Jones. They were both in Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a great series. Anything and everything you want to know about metal detecting, every character in that show, in that series, is an archetypal. It just personifies every person you could ever meet who does metal detecting.
Wow.
Okay, it's a fun show to watch.
Are these the
highly
two?
recommended.
Are these the two?
Yes.
Pirate henchmen from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
There's the one with the
Correct.
big beard and he's bald and stuff, and then there's the really gangly one with
The glass eye. He's got the glass eye.
Oh, dude, I could watch them all fucking day.
No.
Seriously.
No, just look it up. The Detectors. It's such a fun show to watch.
Oh, I'm
and
down.
that
I'm gonna
will
write it down right now.
Hey,
fill in the gaps.
Julio.
Whatever I didn't cover about metal detecting. Yeah.
I just
Julio,
I like the dynamic.
You should look up my friend that's part of my arcade club I belong to, the Michigan Mafia Coin-Op Collectors Group.
Yeah.
His name is Ellen Radu, and he's really into the metal detecting. He's the guy that came over to my house and helped Rachel try to find a ring.
Yep.
But he, just like you, he's into the history because like his wife is somewhat of an amateur historian, and between the two of them, what they can dig up on the area is amazing. Just in our area, when he was looking for Rachel's wedding ring, we dug up an old oil lamp in my backyard and like a steel car toy that was like from the 1800s, and then his wife did some research and they found out that there used to be an old schoolhouse down the road, and where my house sat was actually a trail to where the kids used to walk to school.
Wow.
This is the thing that I love about it.
And awesome.
So you've already started seeing your surroundings in the way that I see them every day. No matter where I go, driving or walking, I see things in the different. It's almost as though having a vision of time. You're because if you hadn't known this, you didn't know that there was a schoolhouse there, or there was a. So now you look at your property, you look at where the path was, and you're starting to visualize things, kids coming and going.
Yeah, like
So you
vapor
start seeing
trails.
things in a
Vapor
whole
trails.
way.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know, bringing it back to what is it?
Time Machine.
Orson Welles, when he wrote Time Machine, to where he could pull back that lever and the years would just flip past, and then he could watch like civilizations rise and fall. And
let's go with the H.G. Wells instead of Orson Welles.
Orson H.G. whatever. I mixed up those two people.
But if it was Orson Welles,
like
he'd be drinking a bottle. He'd be drinking a bottle of Paul and Masson.
I think they're one and the same.
Let's go to
I think they're one and the same people. That's one and the same people that are, you know, reincarnated.
All right. Well, hey folks, that's our show tonight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out.
What a trail off! I love it.
Thank you,
Julio. Hang out. We're gonna do our after show that people should pay money to come see.
Wait, it doesn't do anything?
It doesn't do anything.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
So I can clear my bed. I bet
go.